All right, guys, today we're going to do Immortal Hulk issue number 20 from Marvel Comics, Alex Ross cover. Eisner Award nominee? I don't know about that, but that's personal opinion, of course. I'm gonna let's see what this is going, right? I have something to say. I think this is good. I think the book is good. I have my problems with it, but I probably say that with every Immortal Hulk comic, but it has some problems that I need to address as always. You know, if I call out the bad, then it's that. If I call out the good, well, then it's that too. I don't know where I was going with this, but still. First of all, this. Okay, for the newer subscribers, I have a big hatred of this in every Hulk comic or in other comic in general. I think this is a waste of page. I paid money for this, even if it's secondhand, it doesn't matter. I don't need all this. Just give me some art or just something else. But all these words that you said, oh, this is now the Hour of the Death and Rebirth by Timothy Leary. Who the hell cares? Move on. All right, so we have Bruce Banner, who was killed in the last issue, in issue number 90, by Betty. She ate his heart. Corpse is ripped open. And he has to talk with his father, that his father is dead, and there's a whole story behind that. And this is the below place. He says, how did I ever leave here? Because he was here before. He says, yeah, this is where you belong. This is always coming and going. And, you and the others in and out through the green door, right? We have this conversation like this before many times. You don't remember. You won't remember. But then he's angry at his dad, rightfully so, because his dad wants to kill him, right? Many times. He says, you manipulated me, everything around me, to split me off from the Hulk, to bite me to some cosmic Satan, the one below all. Now, the question is this the real dad of Bruce? I forgot his first name. Anyway. Or is this just a manifestation in his mind? I don't know. Is this all a dream? Is this in his head? Is this, an illusion? Who knows? Don't know. But he talks about him. I am myself, but also him. Talking about the one below all. Maybe he's part of this realm. Who knows? Right? And so he's boasting. And he also says something about other people that coming through the door. And he talked about the delinquent, the quack, the old goat, the copycat, my sister's idiot, and your wife. Now, I don't know who he's talking about, but maybe this is probably a reference to older Hulk comics, because the copycat, who could that be? Another Hulk? I don't remember. Anyway, he says, Betty was here? Passing through, I told you this is your home. This is where you belong. This is where Gamma is from. One form of it, anyway, the hidden form, not a particle, not a wave, an emanation. The emanation of the divine, give or take. But Bruce says, well, no, that's not true, I refuse to believe that. Gamma radiation is a scientific phenomenon. You said that before, and you're right. But from another angle, from above or below, it's a magic spell. Everything is more than one thing, Bruce. And then he talks about, then he says some questions here that I think, is this, and that's a little bit my problem here. Is this really important, what he is saying? Or is this just, hey, let's give Bruce something to talk to, and it never would be brought up again? Because that's my thought about this. All this conversation here, is this ever coming back? Is this important? Right? So basically he says, you belong in hell. Are you trapped in hell? And he says, I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. And he says, who said I was alone? And then it seems that this mother is here, that she has come visiting him sometimes, and then she's just walking away. Again, is this something that is coming back, or is just a scene to make Bruce upset? Because we all know that Bruce is a very tortured soul, and maybe his father is here to torture him right more. I guess. If she's coming back in the upcoming books that we're going to do, then yeah, but sometimes I think, I've seen this in the past. You have all this conversation, all these pages, all this sometimes gibberish, not all of it, But, he says, am I a man yearning to escape hell? Am I a monster wanting to bring it to earth? Can you, of all people, see the middle ground? What are you talking about? Right? And who are these quacks and these copycats and the goats? I don't know. Is this, again, does it come back, or is L. Ewing just, okay, let's just write something? And then we come to this. Like I said, in issue number 19, the Hulk was ripped open, and it seems that now he's healed again. And this was his heart. And it's Betty now calling for help. It's been addressed a little bit. I don't talk about the art. The art is fantastic. No quarrels about the art. It looks great. And then he says, let me guess, Betty, once I was dead all the way, he started on you, right? We need to watch out for that weird stomach acid. So she says, no stomach, no acid. And she just rips him away. And the Hulk says, we need to take it easy because it's Jones under there. Is it? Right? When you killed me, you hurt the big guy. Don't ever do that again. And she says, don't hurt me again. Deal. And then McGee comes. But I want to address this. He says, the big guy. Now, we all know there's different versions of the Hulk, but they are all the Hulk, although different. Like Joe Fixit, the childlike Hulk, this version of the Hulk, and I don't know how many Hulks we have. But then when he talks about the big guy, who is he talking to? Right? Again, more questions. Because does it mean he is not in charge? That there is another Hulk that pulls the strings or something? Again, does it ever come back, or is it just words? Who knows? But then McGee, is a reporter. He says, Hulk, she killed you. You just said she killed you. She tore out your heart and ate it. But then, sure, hard resets, killing me, jump-starting my healing. And here I am. Wait, just like that? Just like, yeah, sure. Your healing because of the abomination's acid stopped, I believe, the healing process for reasons that we don't know. And then you being dead reset everything. Is that how it works? Sure, let's go along with that. And you know what I'm saying? It's just, oh yeah, I just died and everything just reset and I'm okay again. I mean, to me, that's BS. That's a cop-out. Anyway, he says, what is your question? My editor, he wants a story of Mrs. Banner on what happened back in California. Well, I found out and I wanted the story. Betty says, well, she has questions. She doesn't like the answers. No, I do not. That doesn't faze you? That your wife turned into that? And he says, well, it happens. Pretty casual. And then you just ignore that. He says, welcome to the world of Hulk, right? It's like a monkey spot. I wanted to know. Now I do. I can't stop knowing. Like I'm still trapped in hell. And the only way is down, he says. Okay. Probably answered, well, her last sentence. But then he says down because General Fortian sends his troops, war wagons, to deal with the Hulks. I like the designs, by the way. It looks great. Big, bulky, blocky, with Gatling guns and rockets and all that stuff. And yeah, pretty cool. Love it. So he protected McGee, right? He says, hey, you just saved my life. Don't count your chickens. They're coming around for another pass. We still got the Jones boys to deal with. So Fortune here with this, I don't know, the one that controls the abomination. The acid tech is still functional. Bare hands then. Go for the head. Tear it off at its neck. That's some poetic justice. All right, so ads, Hots, art. So he looks at Betty and, well, he needs to still protect McGee. He says, you see to the human, Betty says. Jones, quotation marks, is mine. She is in the air, sir, says this guy to Fortune, but the abomination still has her. Then she's dead. What about the Hulk? War wagons, police report. Wagons 1 here, Ben is still protecting the reporter. Good, wagon 2, circle around and deploy UV drones. With enough artificial sunlight, we can trigger the change. But then, this is happening. She's flying in the air. Jones reveals himself, saying, hey, kill me. And she says, yeah, sure, why not? I addressed that particular part about Betty in the last issue, about that she's a little bit too easy killing people. Although, yeah, I know she's a Hulk, but the Hulk, and that's is also being addressed a little bit later. Hulk has also that no killing rule. Even Betty, when her in her Harpy form many years ago, but in this version, she just, oh yeah, let's kill, destroy, maim, rip people open, eat hearts, eat intestines. I had a problem. I still have a problem with that. Anyway, a lot of apathy here, I guess. But then the War Wagon wants to deploy the UV drones, but then flies under Betty and the Abomination. I mean, didn't you see what's happening on top of your, and now it's crashed into the War Wagon, and then it flies into the Hulk and it punches into the War Wagon 1, right? And then we have a big explosion, and that's the end of that. Pretty nice, I get it, but I mean, this is just pretty stupid, don't you think? Right? I mean, you have all these sensors and radar. I mean, couldn't you just know that your targets or one of your targets is just fly up in the air? Weird. Anyway, he punched one of them into the other, sir. He says, Amadeus Cho, says McGee's out of nowhere, had a theory. He said Bruce Banner always subconsciously working to stop you from killing anyone. Yeah, I heard that one. A little screwy, but it makes sense for the other Hulks. Yeah, like I said, I had a problem. I still have a problem with Hulks being ruthless killers and murderers. Well, not really ruthless, but they don't have quarrel or problems ripping people into pieces. And the old Hulk, has that morale. That's not in here, and I really miss that. All right, so he rips open the Abomination and then pulls out Rick Jones' corpse, I guess. And then other people are coming in. He says, hey, there's a reporting flying craft coming towards us. I know whose. All units, pull back. Repeat, pull back. That's a direct order. So I think, okay, who could it be? They must be pretty dangerous, right? No, it's Gamma Flight, the most useless team in the world. I mean, we have Sasquatch, or who is not Sasquatch anymore, right? Then we have Puck, another useless. Yeah, he was great. He was cool in his Canadian team. Then we have Doc Samson, who was, yeah, come on. And then the only thing that I have a little bit respect for is the Absorbing Man and Titania, but they are also good guys. I don't like that at all, right? So, okay. And then Samson sees, Betty and the Hulk on this love hotel, I guess. But then there's a voice that, can you see me? It's been through this whole book, by the way, but I didn't address it. So, I don't know. Again, is this a reality? Is this a dream? Is this whatever? It speaks to Bruce Banner, who's floating here. And I do not know who this guy here is. I think it's, I don't know, I'm not sure if the Immortal Man from the other Avengers group, this guy cannot be killed. I guess he looks like it, but I'm not entirely sure. And what is he doing there? And what is the meaning, him lying there on this floating rock? Anyway, so the light asking questions about who he really is. What are you at the end of all things? The man or the monster? What are you, Bruce Banner of Earth? Another thing I have to address before we end it. Not sure if it's important. You see this Bruce Banner of Earth, but the T has been black. So it says Bruce Banner of Earth. Now what does that mean? Is this some kind of a secret that I have to uncover or something? I do not know. Anyway, so it seems there is a floating guy with angel wings, maybe? What will you become? It says. And then we have this floating star. What is it? I do not know, but it leads us to the next issue. I think this is interesting, but at the time, I question if it's all this, because sometimes I think it's also metaphor. If it's important, again, I talked about that before, or it's just hey, let's give it all these mysteries. Let's write all these things in, and then we're never going to address it, but you have to read it and you have to accept it. You know, according to L. Ewing, who was the reader. I don't know, but I don't like all this stuff that has never been addressed. If it's been addressed, I happily swallow my words, but sometimes I think this is all just waste of writing and art. Again, I have a love-hate relationship with the Immortal Hulk. Still fun. Eisner Award nominee, not in my opinion. Each their own, I guess. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.